Dr. Art.
Yes.
It's like deja vu all over again.
The same day, but a different day.
We're back at my new favorite track, Etheridge, US 43 in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. This place is just great. But anyway, we're back and we're going to make a run for the 8s. That sounds so ridiculous, doesn't it?
Definitely. Again, our goal in the 895 in the dead ass stock cheap.
Well, you know, the thing is, I would have thought right now we would be talking about trying to break into like the 960s or the 950s.
We blew right past that.
We blew right past that. So let's see what happens. Okay, since the last time we were out, you put a little bit of a tune on it.
Little bit more on the full throttle too.
All right. So what did you do exactly?
Basically, if we're an old school racer, you would have a locked out timing all the way to 5,000 RPM at 34 degrees.
Right.
And then we drop it down to 32 after that for the curve down.
Right, over 5,000 RPM. So we got like a high RPM retard. Whether it's going to make a difference or not, I don't know, but it can't hurt.
It'll tickle more fuel.
A tiny bit. Oh, how much more fuel?
2% over what we had, and we had 8% over there's a fuel adder at wide open throttle. Base map, for that we added 8% because it's a stock engine, but with the more timing we added another 2% on top of that. So
okay, it sounded a little throatier coming here.
It did. It's got more of a manly.
Yeah, I can't say that it felt any better, but it sounded.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
All right, so that's the tune, and he's got the laptop, so in case we want to make any more changes, we can do that. All right, now the Jeep itself. First things first. Last week, she rewarded us with that time slip, and he says she's going to get detailed. So, shout out to Dwayne for doing beautiful job on Mission Improbable. Now she shines on the outside like she does on the inside. I love this thing, Dr. Art.
It's beautiful. It's the best. This is the best $2,700 ever spent by anyone ever at any time.
$2,800. We still have $200
$100 for
left
the
on the
detail.
budget. What's that?
$100 for the detail.
I didn't count the detail.
Okay.
Yeah. For you guys that are like, he spent money on detailing it, but didn't put a shore grip in it. The detailing was separate. It's not part of the budget of the truck. I wanted to make it feel good, right? So, okay, so that's what we did as far as appearance goes. It really makes a difference. Worked a little bit on the suspension too. So, okay, so last time out, we were running 22 pounds on the passenger side, 32 pounds on the driver's side. Now, we broke traction on the driver's side. So now what we're gonna do is, we're gonna drop that down to 26. So we'll be running 22 and 26. And the suspension. So, what I noticed watching videos from the last time out was that it topped out and broke traction just about simultaneously. So, I don't know what came first. I don't know that it stopped transferring weight and then it broke traction, or it broke traction and it stopped transferring weight. It's right there. It's like instantaneously. Both happen exactly at the same time. So what I want to do is give it a little more transfer. So now I knocked about 20 pounds, 21 pounds out of the front of it. The goal was 30. I got 21. But what I did was I spaced the shocks. Dr. Art, you got a light?
Yeah, we got a light.
Yeah. Actually, here, we can show in here. You see, we put those two nuts on top of the shock. So that gave me a total of 1 inch extra rise, or extra stroke on the shock. And we picked up geometry. We picked up 2.5 inches at the wheel opening. With the suspension completely maxed out, I had 36 inches at the center of this lip. And now by adding the 1 inch worth of spacers to the bottom of the shock, I got 38.5 inches. So we picked up 2.5 inches of rise. So it's that much more weight transfer, that much more weight going to the back tires. And also the last couple of times we ran this thing, I had half a tank of gas in it. It's got 3/4, between 3/4 and full actually. So it's got probably an extra 20 pounds of ballast in the back. So we're gonna let this thing cool off. Usually we run it, we just pull it right off the street and go into the lanes and make a rip. let it cool off for about 10 or 15 minutes this time with the hood up, and not start it until we're actually ready to pull out and go. So drop a couple of degrees on the intake manifold temperature. We got a lot of cars here tonight, so I don't know how many runs we're going to be able to get. But like Dr. Art just said before we started filming, we only need one good one. So hopefully, right?
Right, and you won't let me cut any holes in the hood.
No.
To let the heat out, so we gotta let it cool down for a little bit.
We can't carve this one up. No drilling holes and gutting stuff.
He likes this Jeep. He actually likes something.
I love this thing. How could you not? It's got such great personality. It's such a happy Jeep.
It is.
You know?
Yeah.
All right, so we pull in the staging lanes, let this thing cool for a little bit, and we'll make our first rip. First time I ever missed a gear in this thing.
Oh, is that what happened?
I missed third gear. It was a sloppy 60. I don't know, it felt weird. It kind of did this, wasn't smooth.
Yeah, it wasn't. It seemed like you were a little less aggressive than normal with it when you left.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. But yeah, we lost on the 60 foot. It was a 204.60. Yeah. But it still ran a 975, missing third gear, only 67 miles an hour, because I missed third gear.
Right.
That's not bad. That probably would have been a 930 something with a 2060 foot.
Yeah.
So we're stepping in the right direction.
We're chipping away at it.
All right. We didn't have a chance to let it cool down. I didn't realize when we pulled into the lanes, like, woof, just go. So there was no chance to cool it down at all. We're going to do that now. We're going to cool it down for about 15 minutes and then take another crack at it. Yeah. All right, so something I just found, and before we take this thing out again, we're going to have to come up with some sort of torque limiter for this thing because it separated the cold air intake again. Now, I'm not getting that when I'm screwing around with this thing on the street. I guess it's not loading the drivetrain. It's not pulling the motor up hard enough to make this separate. But on the track here, it does it. So I just clamped it back together again. I've got it as tight as it can go, but definitely some sort of torque limiter, you know, a chain or something to hold this motor from going way up there. soft on the 60, the same 204 60 foot. And we ended up with a 944 at 71 miles an hour. But here's the thing, we just ran that 392 Charger, okay? So the Charger on the 201 60 to our 204 60, they ran an 861 to our 944. You know, it was close enough to be interesting. Like if it was a street race and I had to brake on the tire,
Yeah.
we would have taken that.
You can tell it left much better.
It did. Well, it did show it in the number. All right.
Yeah, where the 60 foot wasn't much better, but the EQ was much better, the launch was way better.
All right, let's try it again.
Let it cool down and try it again.
Let's try it again. Strikes, I'm out. All right, so a 2 flat with a 360 foot 940. So we ran back-to-back 940s. Oh, it's just that little. But look, I took 3 runs, and that's the best I could do for the night. Can you beat me? Beat me.
I'm gonna smack on it.
Go, baby, go.
All right, yeah, it's gonna be. We're not gonna be nice to this because we need that much. So yeah, I'm a little bit heftier, but I might be a little bit more meaner to the thing this time. So we'll hop in it. We'll get in the lane. We'll wait. They're running some gambler stuff, and we'll try it.
I tried, guys. I tried. Next time. Go get him, Dr. Art.
We're gonna be mean. Get it?
What'd we do?
979.
Okay. What was the 60?
2073, 60 foot.
All right, now you left harder than I did. Or at least it looked like you left harder than I did.
tried to.
And the mile an hour is down too. Huh. All right. Let me take one more crack at it. I have ambition.
All right. Now that you see that you can just smack it on the launch.
Yes, you've inspired me.
All right. Okay, yeah. It didn't like pulling the vacuum lines, did it?
All right. So, let me explain what just happened there. Before this run, we were speculating that we may have hit the wall, okay, as far as power goes, because 935 and then 940, 940, very consistent, okay? 2060 foot, 2060 foot, and it was like, maybe just a tiny bit more power. Maybe if we get a little more air in this thing. So that's what I pulled the power brake line off, and I pulled one of the vacuum caps off. That's why I was idling at like 3,000 RPM. Well, it made significantly more power. It hopped like pretty severely, which it has never done before. It hopped out like 20 or 30 feet. But what happened was, because the power brakes weren't functioning, I had a light foot on the pedal and it rolled back. This track is just slightly uphill, and it rolled back out of the beams and it red lit, and I got no numbers on that. I got no numbers on it. And in the meantime, I've got crunchy noises coming from under the hood. Dr. Art, what are the crunchy noises coming from?
Well, there is still oil in it, which is nice.
Okay.
Vacuum lines are back on.
Let me fire it up.
It might be.
You found it?
With all the tremendous torque.
Yeah. Ah, okay.
It blew the fan shroud.
Ah, all right.
So, that's your crunchy noises.
Oh, that'll work. Okay, well, let's just eliminate this.
There you go.
Weight reduction.
There you go. We'll save that.
All right.
In your file.
I think we're going to call it a night now. I think we're going to call it a night. I need to go back and watch videos. I got to watch each of the runs. I think we've hit the wall. Like I said, the last time out, the 935, and we ran like a 942 that night also. With a 197.60, going up that 60 foot. Well, now we have no traction problem. I mean, this thing just hooks. It's right there, okay? But there's no power to back it up. So the 935 are back-to-back 940s here. The 60 foots that are 187 and then 2020, so it's 300s on a 60 foot. These are consistent runs. We're consistently there, and I do believe that we've reached the absolute limits of what you're going to find with a bone stock 210,000 mile 240
found in a
cubic
field
engine.
Jeep, yeah.
Found in a field Jeep engine. So I think the next step is we dig into the motor and we do some porting on the intake manifold, porting on the cylinder heads. But I'll get into that I'll do a whole video on that. In the meantime, I got to go back and I got to study the videos that we shot tonight, and just see if I can pick anything else up from it. I think the extra lift may be hurting us. I'm not sure. I think that extra lift may come in handy once we make a little bit more horsepower. But that hop, did you see it hop?
Yeah.
Was it my imagination, or was that thing like just bang, bang, bang?
Yeah, it was just a throwaway run.
Throwaway run. So anyway, guys, that's it. A night at the races.
A night at the races. I mean, everything is still, we're still at the track all night, so
Yeah,
we're
the
in good
crunchy
shape.
noise is turning out to be like a happy
That's
thing.
throwaway part.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
No big deal.
Does life get any better than that? I'll see you tomorrow.